And a good Wednesday morning to you, January 13th, 2021, inside the cave. Ian Went, John Roberts, till 9 o'clock. We're talking all things sports, Lenawee County, statewide, and we'll touch on the national stage as well. Again, happy to have you with us. Be sure to like us on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a subscription to our YouTube channel. That's Lenawee Broadcasting Company, because today we're on the live YouTube feed.
It's right over there.
To the camera, that's right. So tune in. You can be literally inside the cave with us today. A quick rundown of the show. I'll open up the refrigerator and get my Wednesday leftovers for you. We'll talk about the Red Wings season preview, as their season is fast approaching. We'll talk about Michigan State basketball and Michigan basketball. Doing one of these. One's trending up, one is falling off the face of the earth. We'll talk about the NHL. We'll get back to a list, do our top 10, and then more hockey in hour number 2. It's a full hockey hour inside the cave with Adrian College men's coach Adam Krug, coming off their win last night, and Adrian College women's coach Sean Skelly as they prepare for their upcoming season.
Do we have to say A lot today?
A. Yeah, we could.
We could.
Yeah.
It might get annoying after a while.
Yeah, it could be a little annoying there, eh?
More annoying than we already are, probably sometimes.
Probably sometimes, yeah. I don't know if it's a probably, but I do know we're going to start with the sports update.
Now for an Inside the Cave sports update.
All right, as I mentioned a moment ago, Adrian College men's hockey, they chalked up a home win Tuesday over Concordia, Wisconsin, 3-2 in non-league play. Ballant, May, and Kuykendall tallied the goals for AC, who evened their season record to 4-4. Bulldogs took an early lead with a goal in the first and second to build that 2-0 lead in the third. Ballant with the game winner in the third period. Adrian outshot Concordia University, Wisconsin, 56-31. 56-31. It's almost here. Lenawee Christian state championship game in Brighton against a finalist last year, a team with tradition, the 10-0 Suttons Bay Norsemen, Saturday at 5:30. Sports director at WLEN talked with Cougar coach Bill Wilharms at practice on Tuesday.
Probably everything is about maybe what you want, except the weather and January.
Yeah, I mean, it's
post-Christmas.
Post-Christmas, yeah. To be thinking we'd be playing in 2021 instead of finishing the season off in 2020 probably blows most people's minds away and stuff. But again, we're just fortunate that we're going to have this opportunity.
So, Coach, how's everything going physically, mentally, with the game plan against Norsemen? Well, here's what Coach had to say.
Real good. It has been. It was a little cold last night, but we got a lot of our installs in for the week, both defensively and offensively. So now we just got to rep some stuff. And knowing that we're going to be inside at the Legacy Center now, it's the piece that we're getting out here is just, hey, we're very fortunate that we're going to be able to play inside, and because now we know what it feels like.
Yeah, we already heard from star running back Jamison Chesser this week. Now Coach Wilharms has lined up several players for you to listen to this weekend.
We're going to send you Kobe Kagaris, who plays defensive line. He's my all-stater there. Joey Breckel, who plays offensive line and defensive line. He's an all-stater on the offensive line. And then Brandon Scott, who plays linebacker, all-region guy, and also plays on the offensive line. And then Landon Gallant, who is my all-region quarterback, and he also plays corner on the defense.
So get ready. Thursday, Friday, you'll hear from some of the Cougar players themselves. Should be interesting. Ahead of the biggest game in their young lives. By the way, Suttons Bay coming off a bye week of sorts. They won by forfeit. The Cougars, they're hoping maybe they might be a bit rusty, but LCS is going to be ready either way. Big win for the Maize and Blue. That's right. Michigan keeps rolling. Number 7 in the country, stays unbeaten. Another dominant performance, routing number 9 Wisconsin, 77-54. It was not even that close. The Wolverines turned the Big Ten showdown into a blowout, a 43-6 run. 43-6. That spanned part of both halves. Another masterpiece for Coach Juwan Howard's team, which has beaten 3 ranked teams in a row by an average of 22.3 points. Franz Wagner at 15 and 10. Dimitri Trice led Wisconsin with 20 points. A clear message to the nation from Michigan. They're for real. I'm sure you have that fun fact that they threw up on the TV
Yes,
last night.
I was as you were reading through. They are the first team in the history of NCAA men's basketball to beat 3 consecutive ranked teams by 19 or more points. So
Well,
either those teams are overranked, overrated, or Michigan is really good. I think Michigan's really good.
That's one of those stats that you see it and you're like,
Who looked that up?
how'd they think to look that up?
Yeah. I mean, because it's not like that's the first time somebody's played 3 ranked teams in a row.
And beat them.
Right.
Or maybe they'll beat them by 18 points.
That's right.
You know, it's great. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it happens in all sports
Sure.
where the information people are like, hey, this is a fun, weird fact. Oh, okay.
That wouldn't you like?
Cool.
That could be that's someone's job to just look up fun, weird facts about their team.
Yeah. And I think it's more than one person doing it.
Well, yeah, it's probably a whole department at a school like Michigan.
Gosh. All right. Moving to Maction. Keyshawn Saunders, a career-high 20 points. Toledo, they extend their winning streak to 8 straight. They roll over Eastern 96-63. Bryce McBride led the Eagles with 12 points. The Detroit Lions acquired linebacker Sean Dion Hamilton off waivers from Washington. Detroit made the move Tuesday, taking a break off his search for a new GM and coach. He has 89 career tackles. Washington put him on IR last month with an elbow injury. He started 3 of 14 games during the regular season. He was drafted out of Alabama in 2018. So kind of odd they're signing players with no coach or GM, but we'll see.
They definitely need linebackers, though.
That's right. That's right. The Detroit Lions, they are disclosing their first known finalist for an in-person face-to-face interview. LA Rams Director of College Scouting, Brad Holmes, will meet with the Lions for an in-person interview Wednesday, today. ESPN reported the news. Holmes interviewed via Zoom with the Lions last week. He's also a finalist for the vacant Atlanta Falcons GM job, where he reportedly had a second interview over the weekend.
Might have a GM by the weekend here in Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, we already have lots of GMs. But
Yeah. Some of them sit behind a microphone and talk for a living. Tiger pitcher Michael Fulmer, he struggled last season, but the team still believes in him enough to sign him for a 1-year deal. The team avoided arbitration with the righty, signing him to a 1-year deal. They cite the Free Press saying the deal is worth about $3.1 million. 27-year-old Fulmer registered a nearly 9 ERA, 20 strikeouts in 27 innings, 10 starts for Detroit in 2020. His elbow was reconstructed in March of 2019. Boy, the player that could have been. I mean, like rookie of the year stuff.
yeah.
Back in the day for Fulmer. Give him one more chance. $3 million, not that big of a
Not a
risk
big
for
leap.
the team.
Nope.
Speaking of really good, one of the best, if not the best, Alabama head coach Nick Saban talking to the media after his team crushed Ohio State 52-24 in the national championship game 2 days ago. He says he hates to lose and has a constant hunger for success that drives him never to be satisfied.
You can talk about the 7 that we won, but the 2 that haunt me are the 2 that we lost. And don't ask me why it's that way. I have a lot of pride in performance and want to try to do the best I possibly can. as a coach, to have the best program that creates value for the players. I'm talking about value in terms of personal development, academics, and graduating and developing careers off the field, career development, and as football players. I mean,
Sure.
and I think that's one thing that people overlook about the program is we really do try to create value for players, and I think that's why we get a lot of good players.
Alabama head coach Nick Saban. That's going to do it for the sports update this time around. We'll do another one at around 8 o'clock. And I'll sort of stick with Alabama here for a second, John. I know it's not on the list. It's not something we're going to spend a lot of time on today because we have a busy show. Maybe I'll put it up on Twitter, and I might not be the first one to do it. Which dynasty is more impressive to you as a football fan? New England under Belichick Brady, or Alabama under Nick Saban?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. And I don't mind if we talk about that.
Oh, sure. I mean, I pitched it and it wasn't in the show list for today.
Well, I got distracted putting the show list together.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right. No, that's fine.
No, but I think
thought, it's
actually
a deep
I
topic, and we would need to research
yeah,
quite a bit.
It's tough to answer, I think, because Alabama in some ways is more impressive because the players change all the time. Whereas in the NFL, you tend to hang on to guys more than 4 years. But what makes the Patriots maybe a little more impressive is, compared to other dynasties in the NFL at least, is it's being done during a salary cap era where you can only spend so much money on players.
Right, and the players age,
Right.
and they start to
Right.
decline in performance, and you have to know
At Alabama,
when's it
you're
done for a
getting
guy.
them
Yeah, you're
at
getting
the
an 18,
beginning.
17-year-old every year.
Right. And now that's part of the issue with Alabama is you're getting young kids, basically, young men.
Yeah, you got to coach them up.
Yeah. So
And you got the weather. I mean, would you rather play in Alabama
sure.
or New England,
Yeah.
weather-wise? Bama.
Bama. Yeah. Well, I suppose it gets pretty hot there in July and August when they're preseason, but I wouldn't like that.
No,
That's too hot.
a little bit. So
But
I put it up
both are
on Twitter.
Yeah,
There we
both
go.
are impressive, obviously in their own right. But which one is more impressive? That's a great question.
Something to think about when
You
you're
thought
when
of
you're
that.
pouring your coffee.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I mean, 'cause
give-
they're
give you
talking
credit
like-
for that.
6 out of 12, or something crazy like that. 7 out of 12.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
It's something that's not a guarantee.
yeah.
You could recruit these guys and they could be all whiffs.
Sure.
Now, same could be said for the NFL.
Right, you could
You
draft
whiff on a
all
draft
these guys.
pick.
Yeah, and that happens. I mean, it happens.
But my
It-
goodness, I mean, they just roll through great college quarterbacks. I'm not saying they're good pros.
No, but at the college level,
Mac Jones looked like a first-round pick.
he probably will be. High second round at the lowest, I would guess. I mean, unless he just is a total dud at his pro day or the combine. I mean, he's going to go day one or early day two of the draft.
Right, and you're producing top receiver talent,
Running backs.
running backs, defense.
I mean, the best
I mean, my
running back in
goodness.
the NFL today is an Alabama guy, Derrick Henry.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's impressive.
You go back to Mark Ingram.
Sure.
That's a little far back for some
I
people.
mean, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of the guys.
There was a.
They were all there at the same time.
That's right. Maybe
too.
you retweeted it and I saw it. It's like Najee was on the team, and
Yeah.
it was like all
his
the guys.
freshman year.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like they're all in the same room together.
Yeah.
Nick got these guys together, but then you got the Brady Belichick
Yeah.
greatness, and it's
Yeah.
not just him; it's the whole team. And
Right.
and all that.
Exactly. But they're kind of the faces, but college football, I've thought about this a lot since Monday night, and there's Alabama, and then honestly, there's everybody else. Like Clemson and
Clemson
probably Ohio
punched them a
State
couple
are
times.
right. Yeah, but then they're, you know, if Alabama is the A+ program in college football, I would say Clemson, maybe Ohio State are the A programs. I'm not sure there are any A- programs. You might fall to B+ at that point, which is still, I mean, you know,
Right.
you're a B+ student, you're doing some good things, but you're just not that. Alabama's like, to me, they're the only A+ program in America.
So it sounds like we're leaning Alabama.
I I think it's more impressive because it's probably closer to what I experienced as a high school coach, where you got different guys every year. Every year the team's new. In the pros, every year the team's new, but it's not to the level, I think, of, you know, you're bringing 20-some new guys in on a college team every year between walk-ons and scholarship guys.
Right, and something both programs dealt with, their assistants are getting poached left and right.
Oh, that too. You know,
I-
now New England's do as well, I guess, but
Right, both.
yeah.
Belichick and Saban have had guys go, but have they been successful from New England? That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
That's the question on Twitter today. I put it up there.
Yeah.
We'll let the people decide. What's a more impressive dynasty, New England or Alabama? I
Vote early.
like when I'm older and you're old and gray, and the Patriots
I
stink.
am old and gray.
The Patriots stink, and who knows even about Alabama? You know, like, oh, they were good back in the. It's like for me, the Cowboys in the '80s and '90s.
Yeah, you have
Sure,
you don't
I-
relate to that.
No, you
Yeah.
telling me they were great, that's fine. But we're gonna look back and say, man, these two just dominated football for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Unreal stuff. New England and Alabama. Congratulations to them. And Buckeye fans are like, well, we were short-handed, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. Alabama's just that much better. They're a machine over there in Bama. So there we go. That's our tangent on that. This will give me some time to get to the Wednesday leftovers. Open up the fridge. You made dinner last night. It's lunch. You go, you know what? That was a pretty darn good pot roast I made, or a pretty darn good pizza I made on my own, or even if it's the takeout pizza you got, and you couldn't eat the whole thing, it's still in there, warming up. It's still pretty darn good. It's my Wednesday leftovers. I'm gonna go to Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor,
It's not basketball.
just down the road.
It's not women's basketball. It's not men's hoops. I'm not sure the amount it's been talked about on Inside the Cave, because I know how you guys lean with the world of sports. Jim Harbaugh's contract extension,
Yeah.
5 years, starting base $4 million,
Mhm.
half of what he's making now,
Yep.
just about half. It, to me, that's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing for both. I'm like, okay, you're gonna cut his salary in half. Are you admitting he's been a failure, but not so much a failure that you won't can him and move on? Or is it Michigan couldn't really get anyone else? No one wanted that, which is more outlandish to think about than it looked bad. It looked sad to me, like we're giving up but not totally on Harbaugh. Like if I at my job, you know, I'm making whatever, let's say I'm working on a contract basis, they come in and they say, you know what, I'm gonna give you half. Am I gonna want to work for half to be better, to then earn back what I was making before? That sounds wild and crazy. I'm not doing that. Get out of here.
You are if it's your only option.
So that's the other thing. No one wanted Harbaugh.
I think that's a big part of the puzzle.
No one else.
The NFL interest that people thought might be there
No.
didn't actually ever materialize.
And then Michigan has all the power, and they say we're going to give you 4
Yeah,
and like it.
with incentives. I mean, he could make up to 8 with incentives.
God, I would almost quit. That's insulting.
Well,
And you're going to ink that contract.
Well, I think what it does, though, is it gives both parties the flexibility. Say a year from now, Michigan goes 10-2 next year. Not out of the realm of possibility. It's not. I mean, they certainly have the talent to win 10 games. They've done it before.
Right.
Now maybe some NFL team is interested, and he could walk away, or they could say, now's a good time. And maybe there's someone on the picture that's even a more attractive candidate to Michigan as well. Maybe that was part of the problem too. The people they really valued in this coaching cycle weren't either interested or weren't available.
Well, they should be interested, John, because they have the talent.
Well, I agree. I don't disagree. But
and they have the money because they've been paying Jim $8 million for
Sure.
6 years.
Sure.
In a time frame where we've had coaches get bought out, right? Texas
Yeah.
bought out a coach. South Carolina paid Muschamp $15 million to not coach, and here's Michigan signing their boy for half the money. Like,
Yeah.
you're a fan, right?
I am.
Are you okay with this? I mean, does it feel weird?
It's definitely not one of the high points
I don't think
my following of Michigan. That's I struggle. I mean, I know buyouts are in contracts. I think the optics of it right now are really bad when you're cutting sports out of your athletic program, but you're going to buy out. I don't like that. I think you're saying we're going to take away these other athletes' opportunities so we can pay you $15 million.
Well, there's money.
Well, I get it. There's
If donors
money.
are fed up, they will pay.
Exactly. And
People
and
are
I
still
get
making
that.
money
Sure.
in 2020,
Sure.
2021.
I know. I
They could
understand
make it.
that.
It's Michigan.
But the
can make
optics
it
of
happen.
it. The optics of it.
Who cares? Oh, so you're going to sign him for half? Those optics look good?
No. But maybe they're easier to swallow for the people in charge than the other optics, is all I'm saying. I don't know that I agree with that, but that might be what the people in charge decided, is we can swallow this bad look better, easier than this bad look. It's like you're given a choice of Brussels sprouts or something else.
Like, would you rather get kicked in the head or in between your legs?
It-
They're both horrible.
yeah.
But I think we would rather get kicked in the head than between our legs.
9 out
Right.
of 10 days. Yeah.
9 out of 10 days. That's what you're doing.
Apparently for Michigan, this was the 1 out of 10.
That's the kick in the head. So you got Harbaugh for 5 more years.
Well, maybe.
So
We'll see.
yeah, that's my Wednesday leftovers. That's something to think about during the break. We'll be back on the other side. We're gonna talk Detroit Red Wings as their season gets set to go for 2021. Tomorrow night.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Expectations for the Red Wings. Calm down. We'll be right back with all that and more inside the Cave, 96.5 FM, streaming 965thecave.com, and on our YouTube channel on Lenaway Broadcasting Company.
Insurance. Who needs it? We all
5, the Cave.
You know, one day we're going to be in the studio and this song will not be part of our music beds. And that'll be a sad day for Jeff Bowman. Welcome inside the cave. Ian Wendt, John Roberts with you till 9 o'clock, talking all things sports. If you would like to call in, talk about things on your mind, 517-265-4000. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We stream the show live every day on our website, 965thecave.com. Really easy. It's right toward the top of the page. And if you're into YouTube, you like live streams, or you want to go back and watch the show, go to Lenawee Broadcasting Company, or find the link in our social media for the link for today's show. Twitter question for the day: what's a more impressive dynasty, New England or Alabama? Two of the blue bloods in football. Alabama leading the poll 57-42 over the Patriots. So head over to our Twitter and give us a vote. We're going to get to the Red Wings here in a minute. With the NFL, I'm on the record. People know.
This is like the last slice of pie in your leftovers in the fridge, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Or this is like the pop can that you had, like you drank most of it and you put it in there, and then the next day it's not as good.
Well,
it's pretty
flat.
bad. It's flat, and you're like, well, it's still pop, you know.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Sunday night, that quarter was absolutely embarrassing, that
Yeah.
first quarter. I knew it was done. Things were not going our way. I tweeted out, it's like there were 73 ladders in front of Heinz Field to get in. Pittsburgh walked under all of them. Tipped passes intercepted. Missing tackles, guys getting hurt. I mean, our backup linebacker got hurt like early in the game. Highsmith, who was
Yeah.
replacing Devin Bush, he's out. I think the linebacker that was replacing Devin Bush got hurt. He's out. Ben looked old in the first quarter. Then he turned around and threw for 500 yards, 4 scores. It can't overcome it. And I should have seen this come. I should have thought about it logically. Yes, Cleveland was without their guard and without their coach and a third string wide receiver. I dismissed how weak the defense was for Pittsburgh, how shorthanded they were. Not an excuse, just a fact. Like, we didn't have Joe Hayden, Justin Lane. Like, we're playing with rookies undrafted on the outside. Cleveland was a better football team. They clearly were going in. I'm not saying they should have been favored, because Ben beats up on the Browns for a living. He should have played better at the start. Didn't happen. It was a quick fire. Just like the curtain just lit on fire and it was up before you even knew it, and the house was burning down to the studs. And that first quarter, Mike Tomlin's face was on that broadcast, John, at least 30 times. Something bad would happen, cut to Tomlin. Something bad would happen, cut to Tomlin. You know, Nick Chubb runs in, just shedding Steelers. Go to Tomlin. This is the same guy that lost to Tim Tebow in a playoff game. Same guy that lost to Blake Bortles in the AFC divisional round and the Jaguars. He's also won 2 Super Bowls. So, do I feel bad? Yeah, my team lost. Do I feel like both teams had their best out there? No, they didn't.
It would be interesting to watch them play with both at 100%.
Yeah, with Stefanski there and the left guard for Cleveland, and you know, you want to see the best.
Yeah.
And the best wasn't there. Pittsburgh looked bad, and then they gave me hope. They reeled me in just a little bit, and I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to do it. The Browns are going to brown, and Pittsburgh's going to come back and win. But we get a 4th and 1 at the 50. We punt.
Game over.
That was it. Tomlin gave up right there.
Game over.
That's it. Our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was like I was watching them play the Patriots. Like, completing wide open passes, running over here, doing whatever they wanted offensively. Huge disappointment. But there were logical reasons as to why it happened. And I think the media nationally, and I think Vegas, and I personally bought into it, like, okay, the Browns beat us by 2. We'll clobber them. Well, fact of the matter is, I already gave you the facts. So, congrats to Cleveland. I've been a big Brown advocate this season. In my power rankings, I think I've had them
You have
fairly
higher
ranked.
than I did.
Right.
And I'm a
Often.
Browns fan.
I see it. I'm like, man, they got a lot of pieces.
They do.
It's a good football team.
Good things going forward.
Yep.
Don't overlook them this weekend.
We have a whole off season for me to talk about my quarterback and
Yes.
and my team moving
Yes.
forward.
Yes.
But that is certainly out there in the ether
Speaking of off-season,
and future.
the Red Wings is ending.
Yes. The off season that was one of the longer ones in the NHL because they were one of 6, 7 teams that didn't have a playoff
Yeah.
last year. So yeah, Detroit gets things underway. Puck drops at the Little Caesars Arena tomorrow at 7:30
I'm going to be
against
watching.
Carolina.
Yeah. I like watching the Red Wings.
Oh, yeah.
Might be my favorite sport to watch on TV. It's no question my favorite one to watch in person.
Oh, you can't beat it.
No.
Even at the LCA. Like,
Yeah.
you can love the Joe. I loved and
Yeah.
love the Joe.
Yeah.
You've been?
Oh,
I
yeah.
take it?
Yeah.
The LCA?
Multiple times.
I was walking around it and I go, is this in Detroit?
Yeah. It's a nice
Like, this
arena.
is here.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like you went to California and you're like, oh man, it's $1 billion stadium.
Yeah. It's a nice arena.
It really is.
It's a good place to watch a hockey game. Of course, so was the Joe, I always felt.
Yep. So, I jotted down a couple notes here.
As did I.
They're still hitting the reset button.
Yeah.
This team will be bad,
I think
record-wise.
Yeah, but I
They
think
will
they'll
not
be a
win a lot of
little
games.
bit ahead of where they were last year.
Like, worst in the franchise history, bad.
Well, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go but up after last year. I
Right.
guess.
Rock bottom, I think, was last year.
Yes, I agree.
So keep your expectations low. Please don't be the Tiger fan last year that's like, oh look, they're in contention, they're gonna and then they fall off. Like, yeah,
Well, everybody's
know.
in contention right now.
right. But we kind of know going in that they're still rebuilding this thing.
Yes.
And please, Stevie Y, like, I'm praying to the hockey gods and Steve Yzerman, do this right.
Yeah.
Build this team right. I believe he can. But this is a city in a sports history that, aside from the Red Wings, has brought in or created stars and has underachieved.
Yeah.
Barry, Calvin, Matt, JV, Miggy.
Yes, underachieved in terms of championships.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a franchise that's proud and is one of the best in hockey history, if not the best in Detroit. Please do not waste Dylan Larkin. That's the overall point I'm getting to.
Yeah.
This kid is special. He's coming up on his prime, in all likelihood being named the captain this year.
Boy, do you think that'll happen in the next 24 hours before the first game?
Hot take?
I mean,
Redmond's
if
name
you're not
Larkin
going to have
captain in the
if
next
you're going to have a
day?
captain, I've got to believe it's him. Who else would
Yeah.
it be? I mean, Bertuzzi. I don't know that he's a captain kind of guy. He's a really good player, but
Yeah, it's either. I mean, I think it's Larkin. We're not in the locker room. We don't know.
yeah,
But
we could be. We're media though.
that's right. All indication is it's going to be him. Otherwise, you go with a vet that's been there for a while, like a Helm or a Glendening,
Yeah,
something like that.
but
But
Amantha, I don't know. I think he's a good role player, and sometimes those guys make good captains. But
and for a team that's had Lidstrom, Iserman.
Yeah.
They've waited for years.
Zetterberg.
They've waited for years for like the guy that they believe is going to be. They care about the C on the sweater,
Sure.
clearly, almost as much as the winged wheel.
Yeah,
So it's a big deal, and
obviously some of the greats in hockey history have worn the Red Wings C on their sweater. I mean, we're talking Hall of Fame guys.
yes. But my overarching theme for this is do it right.
Yeah.
Please don't waste Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to get to a point where we say, gosh, we got to trade him so he can win, and we can't afford to pay him,
Right.
and our team's not where we need to be. Please don't do that, Stevie. Please, I'm looking up to the hockey gods. And
that
Stevie
where they
Y
live?
up in the booth.
Is that where they live?
Yep,
Above the
somewhere up
cave?
there. Yeah, above the cave. So those are my quick takeaways for the Red Wings coming up. Their season drops the puck officially tomorrow
Yeah.
at 7:30.
I mean, some new pieces. They brought along, some free agents, some trades. So, some veteran guys. I think they've got a good blend of veterans and still their young core. I did notice that a couple of their most recent number one draft picks are not on the roster, but they're on the taxi squad that the NHL has put together this year. So they're a quick call up if for COVID reasons or injuries or something like that. Maybe a little quicker than even going to Grand Rapids. These guys are going to be practicing with the team. Michael Rasmussen and Dennis Cholowski, two of the more recent number one picks. They're
Yes.
not on the active roster, but they're right there if they need them. So, and I think part of that is those veteran players they brought in are in the same spots as those guys, and this gives those guys just another year of work without the pressure of playing in the games. But I would think probably, and some of those veterans are going to be traded as we get close to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hopefully
continue
not
the
too many
rebuild.
of the young guys, because I think they have a good young core. I'm excited to see what Bernier can do in net this year. I think he had a decent season for him last year, but let's see how he does as the guy in net for Detroit with no longer having Jimmy Howard.
Yeah,
That'll be weird.
that's a change.
That's a change. So,
So, any other? You got more bullet points?
no, I'm
Okay.
good. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's exciting. It's different, obviously, from when they were a Stanley Cup contender every year. This is like back in the, for me, early '80s when they drafted Steve Yzerman, and you had him, and guys like Gerard Gallant, and they were all young together coming up, and those guys eventually, some of them anyways, became the core of the really good playoff teams and then the Stanley Cup teams. So I think that's about where we're at right now.
Quick programming note for the Wings. The Toledo Walleye announcing they will not have a season this year, one of Detroit's affiliates.
Yeah.
And I made a check to make sure Grand Rapids Griffins, they're all systems go for 2021. So there will be the minor league system there for the Red Wings, plus the taxi squad, as you mentioned before,
Yep.
John.
Yep.
So there you have it, our pre-season, before the season, not the preseason,
Right.
preview of the Detroit Red Wings. Puck drops tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. On the other side of the break,
I'm excited.
give me some hockey. On the other side of it, U of M skyrocketing. They clobbered Wisconsin last night in basketball. Michigan State falling off the face of the earth. What's going wrong in Sparty Land? We'll be back with a college hoops recap on 96.5 The Cave, 965thecave.com.
trades are made, when records are broken, when championships lay in the balance. We've got you covered. 96.5, The Cave.
And we welcome you inside the cave. Ian West, John Roberts with you till 9 o'clock, talking all things sports. A big hockey hour coming up next. We're going to finish off this hour, though, with some college hoops. You want to go blue or go green first?
Well, I was just going to ask you want to go trending up or trending down?
Yeah, we'll start in the toilet,
Okay.
and then we'll climb out
Finish
of it.
on a high note.
Yeah, we'll do a reverse flush. We'll go Michigan State first.
Will overflow.
Yeah, then we'll overflow it. An embarrassing loss at home. I know being at home is different this year and last year, but you're up on Purdue. Got them by the throat. Purdue storms back and beats you 55-54. After coming off a good win against Rutgers, and, you know, what's going on? I mean, some nights this team can't break 70 points, and other nights they're putting up 100 on people. Are they at the mean? Like, if they've been their highest high against Duke, and now their lowest low against Purdue, and they'll balance it out? Law of averages says they will.
Yeah, I think they're somewhere in between those two games. They really miss. I'm not so sure they don't miss Xavier Tillman more than Cassius Winston.
Well, you miss them both.
Well, you do, no question.
Yeah.
But they really struggle to defend the post in the interior right now. And it showed against Purdue. I think when they can shoot the ball, because they got some good shooters, you know, when the shots are falling for them, they're not a bad team. But they struggle to defend inside. And
The development.
that's
or
going to be a
lack-
problem in the Big Ten, because there's some good post players in the Big Ten.
You're right, and you know you can get away with a smaller lineup if you're making your shots, but
Right.
then if you combine, you can't defend the post with not shooting it particularly well.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for failure. And the underdevelopment so far of Marcus Bingham Jr. You know, they
Yeah.
get the guy that's like 6'10", 6'11", not playing up to it so far.
Yeah, he's going to need to be, no pun intended, big for him down the stretch.
Yeah, look, they're 8-5.
Yeah,
They can string a few together. They're not ranked now. I mean,
right,
they don't deserve to be.
right.
And coaching points for Tom Izzo. These are all coaching points. They need to build on this. Before the season started, we say, look, they lost Cassius, they lost Xavier, they got Amani Bates down the road. This year's like a gap year. Like you graduated school, you're going to go to college, but you want that year off. They might be falling into that medium area, like you talked about. So that's all the time the toilet gets. Let's go to U of M. Huge win over a top 10 team in Wisconsin.
We came across a little fun fact on Twitter during the break. The last time that Michigan beat Wisconsin by 20 or more points, Juwan Howard was the leading scorer in the game. So that tells you how long it's been that we've seen a victory of that level against Wisconsin. 1993. They're impressive. I was so impressed with last night, and I think Wisconsin is a good team. I mean, you know, you're not ranked in the top 10 for nothing. Michigan defended them. I mean, and they defended them hard. And they're deep. I mean, they got Austin Davis back last night, and he helped.
Great news.
Yeah. They just got deeper. The bench, I think, at Michigan is as good as it's been in a long time.
Yeah, I
with
think
Chaundi Brown and Mike Smith and, you know, his name just slipped out of my mind, the other point guard, Brooks. You know, whoever starts at point guard, the other guy's not a bad guy coming off the bench.
Yeah, I think the defense has been a huge talking point this
Yeah.
offseason and a big point of emphasis.
Yeah.
I saw it against Minnesota. Minnesota couldn't do anything on offense, and
Yeah.
it was the same case for Wisconsin. Also, I think Michigan was offended that they were
Little
only
bit.
ranked number 7.
They got that Fab Five chip on their shoulder a little bit.
Yeah,
And that goes to
undefeated,
coaching.
and you're at number 7.
Yeah.
They feel disrespected,
Yeah.
and the buzzsaw of Michigan just went right through Wisconsin.
I'm gonna guess they
cut
might
that
be top
cheese,
5
pun intended.
next ranking.
Uh,
Oh, I like
they
that.
better
Cut
be.
that cheese. I
Yeah,
like that Wisconsin. I get it.
Yeah, it's a double meaning there.
I get it.
Yeah,
That's
we'll take a
good.
break. Inside the Cave, hour number 2 coming your way next with yours truly, Ian Went and John Roberts.
Michigan. This is Inside the Cave on 96.5 FM and 965thecave.com. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle, where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports, interview area coaches and players, and get you ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go Inside the Cave.
That's right, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, January 13th. You're Inside the Cave with yours truly, Ian Went and John Roberts, getting ready for the second hour.
Probably our best 60-minute performance of the year.
Well, I'm flattered. Absolutely flattered.
You got to find a way to replicate what you did.
All right, let's do it. John Roberts with the sports update.
Now for an Inside the Cave sports update.
Thank you, Ian. And good note to start, Adrian College men's hockey chalked up a home win Tuesday over Concordia of Wisconsin, 3-2 in non-league play. Bellant, May, and Kuykendall all tallied for the Dogs, who evened their season record at 4-4. And I just thought of that. Their 4 losses are all to Division I opponents, correct? And
Correct.
So they're undefeated against Division III opponents.
Yes.
All right. So they're undefeated. We're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulldogs took an early lead with a goal in the first and second periods, 2-0 lead into the third period. Adrian outshot Concordia on Tuesday 56-31. So the goalies were busy.
Yes, they were.
It's almost here. Lenawee Christian Cougar State Championship game in Brighton versus a finalist from last year's game, a team with tradition, the 10-0 Suttons Bay Norsemen, Saturday at 5:30. A little fun fact about Suttons Bay, the Cougars' opponents, they are coached, I learned yesterday, by an Adrian High School alumnus, Garrick Opie. So, little local level on both sides. We talked with Cougar coach Bill Wilharms at practice on Tuesday.
Probably everything is about maybe what you want except the weather and January.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Post-Christmas.
Post-Christmas, yeah. To be thinking we'd be playing in 2021 instead of finishing the season off in 2020 probably blows most people's minds away and stuff. But again, we're just fortunate that we're going to have this opportunity.
And coach, how's everything going physically and mentally with the game plan against the Norsemen?
Real good. It has been. It was a little cold last night, but we got a lot of our installs in for the week, both defensively and offensively. So now we just got to rep some stuff. And knowing that we're going to be inside at the Legacy Center now, it's the piece that we're getting out here is just, hey, we're very fortunate that we're going to be able to play inside, and because now we know what it feels like.
And we've already heard this week from star running back Jamison Cheshire. And now Coach Wilharms has lined up several players for us to listen to.
We're going to send you Kobe Kagaris, who plays defensive line. He's my all-stater there. Joey Breckel, who plays offensive line and defensive line. He's an all-stater on the offensive line. And then Brandon Scott, who plays linebacker, all-region guy, and also plays on the offensive line. And then Landon Gallant, who is my all-region quarterback. And he also plays corner on the defense.
So we'll have more from the Lenawee Christian Cougars on Thursday and Friday leading up to the big game. Speaking of big games, a big win for the Maize and Blue basketball team. Number 7 Michigan remained unbeaten with another dominant performance, routing number 9 Wisconsin 77-54. Wolverines turned this Big Ten showdown into a blowout with a 43-6 run that spanned parts of both halves. Another masterpiece for Coach Juwan Howard's team, which has beaten 3 ranked teams in a row by an average of 22.3 points per game. Franz Wagner had 15 points and 10 rebounds for Michigan. Demetric Trice led Wisconsin with 20. In MAC play, Keyshawn Saunders had a career-high 20 points as Toledo extended its winning streak to 8 games, rolling past Eastern Michigan 96-63. Bryce McBride led the Eagles with 12 points. The Detroit Lions have acquired linebacker Sean Dion Hamilton off waivers from Washington. They made that move on Tuesday, taking a brief break from their search for a new GM and coach. So adding some hopefully better pieces to the linebacker unit of the Detroit Lions. And speaking of the Detroit Lions, they are disclosing their first known finalists for an in-person face-to-face interview for the GM position. Los Angeles Rams Director of College Scouting Brad Holmes will meet with the Lions for an in-person interview today. He interviewed via Zoom last week. He is also a finalist for the vacant Atlanta Falcons GM job, where he had a second interview over the weekend. So hopefully by the end of the week here we have a GM, and then shortly after that a coach in place for the Lions going forward. Tiger pitcher Michael Fulmer struggled mightily last season, but the team still believes in him enough to sign him up for a 1-year deal. The Detroit Tigers avoided arbitration with the right-handed Fulmer signing him to a one-year contract believed to be worth $3.1 million. Not bad for a guy who had almost a 9 ERA in limited action last year. Coming off still elbow reconstruction in March of 2019. So Tigers have a few other players that they've got to work out with, so that's just the first one of many. And then finally, Alabama head coach Nick Saban talking to the media after his team won 52-24 over Ohio State in the college football playoff national championship game 2 days ago. Saban's 7th national title. He says he hates to lose and has a constant hunger for success that drives him never to be satisfied.
You can talk about the 7 that we won, but the 2 that haunt me are the 2 that we lost. And don't ask me why it's that way. I have a lot of pride in performance and want to try to do the best I possibly can. As a coach, to have the best program that creates value for the players. I'm talking about value in terms of personal development, academics, and graduating and developing careers off the field, career development, and as football players. I mean,
Sure.
And I think that's one thing that people overlook about the program is we really do try to create value for players, and I think that's why we get a lot of good players.
They do get a lot of good players. That was Alabama coach Nick Saban, and that is the update, Ian.
All right, awesome stuff. Looking forward to hearing from those Lenawee Christian Cougar players. I talked to Coach Will Harms after their state semifinal win, and I was like, we talk a lot about the offense.
Sure.
And rightly so. But I saw Brandon Scott flying all over that field for the defense, and he said, he's one of those guys, and he's mentioned a couple other all-staters on the D-line and offensive line. I need to go back and find out the day I said it, but I think it was after they beat Colin, or the week after, and I said, this is the best team in 8-man football.
You did say it a while
I went out
ago.
and said it
I
pretty
remember.
darn early, and they're one win away from doing so, but a really difficult matchup with Sutton's Bay coming up this weekend. But you go on the other hand and say, we've been saying that for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And they're winning by
Yeah.
40 points.
Yeah.
But best of luck to them, and it's good to hear from Coach. And
It's got to be cold out there practicing.
I can't imagine.
Ugh.
I mean, Clinton's got a home game this weekend.
Yes.
Outside.
Yep.
Yeah, in case you don't know, Clinton doesn't have a dome
No.
to play in.
No.
I mean, my gosh.
No.
My
So,
goodness.
and both those games will be on WLEN, our sister station.
Yep. 1 o'clock for Clinton, 5:30 for Lenawee Christian.
Christian, yes.
Uh,
I believe we'll be carrying the NFL playoffs. I think we have to
The
get
plan is to
confirmation.
carry as many as we can.
Yeah, I think we have to get confirmation on that.
Yep. So we got Jeff Bowman on the call for Clinton, and then breaking yesterday, I'll be on the call for Lenawee Christian.
Okay.
On Saturday,
I
so-
didn't know if that was official yet or
Yep.
not. John, who normally does those games, is just a little under the weather right now,
Yep. And
recovering from some medical. That
yeah, and we can
Little-
say
little
it's
minor
not. We can say
surgery.
it's not COVID.
No, it
related.
is not. It is
No.
not. He's on the mend. So we wish him the best and speedy recovery and soon to be back inside the cave with us.
Yep. So with the game this weekend, I was there for the regional final, the semi, and I'll get the final. It's been great to call their games and just to watch the talent of
Yeah.
Lenawee Christian.
It's your first state championship game?
Yeah, don't talk about it. Yeah, it is.
Are you
Yeah.
nervous?
Pretty excited.
Yeah. Nervous.
The nerves will
excitement?
come like when I'm talking to Laura at the studio over there,
Yeah.
like, all right, we're gonna go in like 30 seconds. Then the nerves. But
Yeah.
it'll be cool up until then. Little nerves, and then when the game starts, the game will start.
Have you started to think about what your championship call is going to be like, or is that putting the cart before the horse?
Cart before the horse.
Okay. Don't want to assume.
Yep.
Okay. Don't want to jinx anything.
Right. You don't really want to script things like that.
You just want it to
necessarily.
be
Maybe raw
in
emotion.
the moment.
There are different ways you can do it. I mean,
Okay.
you can script it out. I'm not saying you
Sure.
can't
Sure.
or you shouldn't,
Sure.
but
Okay.
sometimes you can go off emotion and feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got time to think about that.
There you go. Don't
So-
overthink it.
No.
Just- Okay.
We got a top 10 list.
Yeah.
We do a top 16
We're done with the
list.
NFL.
Yep, lists are done for the NFL.
Our lists,
Yep,
yes.
our list. So we're gonna switch gears to the ice. And
Ice, baby.
ice, baby, I like that. Kirk Cousins likes that too. You like that? Top 10 NHL teams as the season is fast approaching. Tampa Bay coming off that win in the bubble,
Yes.
getting the job done.
My Lightning.
I know I was having flashbacks making my list, and I was like, oh yeah, Tampa did win that. Oh yeah, John was pulling for Tampa. And my Dallas Stars, my adopted Dallas Stars, couldn't do it. Made it pretty far.
Yes.
But anyway, get a start at number 10.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
I am a big fan of Original Six hockey, and I'm going to start my top 10 list with the Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah.
I can't say it in French how they say it. And
No.
it'll be like slobber on the microphone.
Number 10, Edmonton. They're right about there. A lot of this, though, and maybe it should have factored in more to my decision making, who they're going to play. Because they're all divided up.
Yeah, it's different this year, the divisions. So
Divisions are different. You're playing a lot of the same teams. How can you gauge how good they are? You know, like, we're not going to play the Canadian teams
we're not.
until the playoffs. Right.
Detroit.
Isn't.
Well, Detroit's not probably not going to be in the playoffs.
America is not going to play
is
the
not gonna play
Canadian
the
teams.
Canadian teams.
So how do you judge that?
Yeah.
So Edmonton, one of the top teams in Canada, I feel they're at number 10.
Okay. Number 9 for me, the St. Louis Blues. I think they got a good core of players, and did they lose to the Stars conference finals or conference semifinals? I can't remember, but they had a good matchup with the Stars,
Yep.
who are really good.
Yep. I got St. Louis a little higher. I
No,
was up on
Vegas
them last
lost
year.
in the conference finals.
Yes. So it was the.
Semifinals.
I think St. Louis had a deficit to crawl out of, and they almost did.
Yeah.
I got Washington at 9. When you count them out, they win. Do they choke in the playoffs? Sometimes. They're still a good hockey team.
They have
Ovechkin's still
He's
there.
still a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's all right. So yeah, Washington at 9.
Okay. Number 8 for me. One of these years they're going to win it, and it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. They got a lot of good players. They just never seem to put it together at playoff time. Maybe this is the year.
They've become a phrase to maple leaf,
Yeah.
to leaf yourself in the hockey world. Yeah, no doubt the talent's there. Whether it's coaching or having the experience
Yeah.
to get over those humps, whatever it is.
Plus, you got to like a royal blue and white combination with a maple leaf on your uniform.
Oh yeah, as I peek over the
Well, I
monitor.
got the Letaway United sweater.
Oh, you
on
do? You
today,
don't have
yeah.
the-
Not the
no maple
nothing
swag?
alien today. No.
Okay. Number 8,
Yeah.
that's where we're at. Are the Flyers for real? I got Philly at 8. One of the hotter teams in hockey. Going in, I know they lost in the earlier rounds.
To the Islanders. Yeah.
Yeah. Still a good team. Maybe the bubble affected them. I don't know. But don't discount Philly. I got them at 8.
I actually have them a little higher than you. So, my number 7, the Carolina Hurricanes, who the Detroit Red Wings open up with tomorrow night. Pretty good hockey team.
All right, that's a wild card for me. They weren't quite in there yet for me.
I think maybe I'm putting them in there because they open with the Red Wings, and they're going to get off to probably a 1-0 start.
Yeah, then yeah.
If they lose to the Red Wings, they'll be out next week.
Yeah, exactly. 7. They might be shockingly low for you when you hear me say that the Islanders are at number 7.
See, I don't even have the Islanders in my top 10.
Oh.
They were kind of my dark horse last year.
Okay, so they're kind of a splash and dash. of a
They're
one
probably
and
just
done.
outside the top 10 right now.
Okay.
So
I might coin that, a splash and dash.
I like that.
Team makes a splash, then they get out of the way.
Can you splash on the ice though?
Oh.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to think of something for hockey.
Yeah. But I like the concept. Number 6, a team you mentioned earlier, the Washington Capitals. Probably as talented as anybody in hockey. They had Henrik Lundqvist in goal, but he had some heart issues, and he's going to sit out this season. So they're going to have to figure out their goaltending.
Yes. Yep.
Jimmy Howard. Did Jimmy Howard sign with anybody, or did he retire? Maybe Jimmy Howard could go to Washington.
I haven't heard any free agency news for Jimmy.
He's out there, Capitals.
That's right, he is. What are we at, 6?
Yeah.
All right.
Stay with me
You
here.
know, Pat's texting us.
I know.
Texting us in code.
Jeff is Pat. You know, they're both texting us. You guys want to get on the air? Call or come in here.
Number 6, Dallas Stars. They got talent. They got a chip on their shoulder. They're ready. They're ready to go, make a push. Goalie situation might be a little in the air sometimes, but talent for Dallas.
I like Dallas actually this year. I got them higher than you do. Number 5 for me, a team you already mentioned, the Philadelphia Flyers. I think that was an upset when they lost to the Islanders last year. The Islanders got hot at the right time. I really thought that Philadelphia had a legitimate shot to win the East last year, and it just didn't happen for them.
Number 5, St. Louis Blues.
Ooh.
Could be a team that falls out, but they were right in there.
Yeah,
They
I have them
certainly-
a little lower than you, but
I think they're a team that missed playing at home. I think
Yeah.
the atmosphere in St. Louis
yeah, I mean,
gets them up a little bit, and
it'll be interesting to see.
a lot of older players in that
Having that
bubble.
home crowd back again this year will help. Well, in places
When-
where you can have a crowd, I
Yes.
guess, you know, not everybody. Maybe I don't know. The NHL are they allowing fans, or is that going to be up to a local thing, kind of like college football was?
Well, the NFL in a way was like that too.
Yeah, I mean,
you
and
go
they're
to
starting to
Kansas
allow
City, they're like
fans
half
now.
full, and you go to
Buffalo had like 10,000 at the playoff game last week, and Pittsburgh and Cleveland have had fans in recent weeks. So I don't know. We'll have to look into that, whether the NHL can have fans or not. Number 4, the Dallas Stars. You know, pretty good hockey team right there. Should be right there again this year.
number 4. No Torrey Krug, but I'm not going to discount Boston quite yet. The Bruins at 4. Let's see if the core, besides Krug being gone, will sort of pick up the slack for the Bruins.
I don't even have the Bruins in my top 10. So
I
that's
mean, they're just a consistent.
yeah, they're
winner in the
they lost to
franchise,
Dino
and-
Chara finally, and
Yeah.
it seems like he's played there since I was born. But a little bit maybe of a transition year for the Bruins. We'll see, but they still got some good players for sure. Number 3, the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning.
3.
Yeah, I got them taking a little step back this year, but still maybe the best team in the East at 3.
Oh, that tells me about your 2 and 1.
That's right. They're both from the West.
Number
what used to be
3.
known as the West.
Number 3. I got a Western team, Colorado. Scary, young, clutch. You know, people say they're a piece away last year. Maybe they got the piece this year.
They might have.
Colorado at 3.
Okay. Number 2, the Vegas Golden Knights. Consistently good for a team that's been in existence for, 4 years now?
Yep.
This will be their 4th year? Or 5th?
My mind serves me.
Yeah.
4 sounds right.
They're really good. They started out as a really good expansion team, and they've stayed good.
No argument there. I have Vegas at 2.
That's our first agreement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, based on that, they're the best team in the West right now.
Right.
For me.
For
For me,
you.
best team in the
Not
West.
for me.
I know. Well, we all know where you're going now.
Yeah, the Colorado Avalanche. I think they're
Best
the
team in hockey.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Preseason, we'll see how it turns out, but I'm going with the Avalanche as the best team in hockey.
Does this seem like I have Tampa at 1?
Okay.
Does this seem like there's those 3, and then a step, and then the rest?
Yeah, if we're doing a grading scale, those are probably the 3A programs, and then the next few are B teams. B plus. I think Dallas is really good. I think Philadelphia. All those teams in our top 10 are capable of making a deep run in the playoffs, I think.
So there you have it, the debut of our top 10 NHL teams preseason style. Not preseason as terms of playing a game, just before the season.
Yeah.
We might tweet them out, put them on Facebook or something.
We could do that.
If
You could
wanna
look
give
back
your
on them at the
reaction.
end of the year and just see how awesome we were in our picks.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarcasm. Well, I should hope so, because I'm laying it on pretty thick.
The old sarcasm. Well, that's going to wrap up that segment. We're going to take a break. On the other side, it's more hockey. Adrian College.
Hockey
non-hockey
extravaganza today
That's-
inside the cave.
That's
It's
right.
a little chilly, the ice on the floor of the cave today.
Coach Krug around the corner talking a big Bulldog win. 3-2, a nail biter over Concordia University, Wisconsin. We'll be right back with that inside the cave. And we welcome you back inside the cave for hour number 2. As John said, hockey extravaganza inside the cave. Ian Wentz, John Roberts with you till 9 o'clock. And this segment we have on the phone Adrian College men's hockey coach Adam Krug, coming off a 3-2 win over Concordia University, Wisconsin last night at home. Congrats on the win, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Good morning. It feels good to wake up on a Wednesday after a game. So, it was good for our guys to get back on the horse after being knocked down a tag or two over the weekend.
Yeah, we'll go back to that a little bit. You played the Falcons of Concordia University, Wisconsin, Saturday, correct? And then you played U18 Sunday.
Yeah, so it was a tough week of travel on a short week of practice after a long break, which is not a good recipe. Kind of knew that going in. It was by design in a way, just to put our guys through some adversity, like just make it hard on them and put their backs against the wall a little bit and test their mettle. And it went worse than expected, but that's okay. Like, we have to learn. We got a young team, and we're figuring things out. But to go to Concordia last week and then have a great start, we're up 4-0 about 13 minutes in. And I think we just kind of took our foot off the gas. And in the back of the guy's mind, we had that game won early, and that's always a bad recipe. And then thinking about we got another game tomorrow against a better opponent, and I just think that everything included, added up, and then we didn't have the right mindset for the weekend. And then we go to USA on Sunday, and they score a goal 35 seconds in, and it was an uphill climb from there, and we weren't able to go very far.
Coach, getting into the game a little bit from last night, you go up 2-0 early in the second. You've got a 5-on-3 and unable to capitalize. Do you think coming off the long break, has it been hard to get your special teams, your power plays, your penalty kills, maybe that game-like atmosphere or experience?
Yeah, I think it's in the details of playing games that it makes it hard to get those things going, clicking right away. Our penalty kill was not great over the weekend. We made some adjustments going into yesterday. Our penalty kill was awesome yesterday. I think on 3 opportunities we only gave up 2 shots on goal, which is an awesome statistical line for that group. But power play wise, we haven't gotten our power play clicking all year. And you can point fingers at whatever you want. If you want to talk about 4 games against Division I programs, we typically are pretty good penalty killers. Last night I thought we had way more opportunities on the power play than we've had in 3-4 games now. So, that was a step in the right direction. We called a timeout when we got the 5-on-3, trying to draw something up, because we haven't had some time to work on that stuff either. So we're still trying to identify the right personnel for when there is a 5-on-3 in a big moment. We drew up a play to start the 5-on-3. We made the play, we executed, and their goalie made a save, and then from there, the guys have to rely on their instincts and positioning to make plays, and they did that. But we ran into a very good goaltender last night too.
Yeah, Bo Dieter with 53 saves for the Falcons. In net for you, Coach, it wasn't Cam Gray, it wasn't Tellerico, it was Dershawn Stewart with 29 saves for you guys. How did he end up in net, and how do you evaluate his performance?
Yeah, that was a scheduled start for Dershawn, freshman who hadn't gotten an opportunity yet. Last semester we wanted to get him to start. We wanted to get him in some games, but with the ever-changing schedule, we just weren't able to find a day to put him into the situation to be successful. I think you get a freshman goaltender, you get a freshman player who's developing and on the cusp of being an everyday type guy, whether it be a forward, defensive goalie. You don't want to put them in positions to fail because, that's how confidence gets ruined, and that can have a lasting effect on players. So that was a scheduled start, and I thought he responded tremendously well. I think it was a blessing in disguise for him to get thrown in at USA, albeit down 5-0 halfway through the game. Then he got thrown to the wolves a little bit, but to see some game action there and get a feel for playing in a game again. He hasn't played in the game in about a year since the Ontario Junior Hockey League got shut down back in February last year. So, it was great to see him out there. I thought he made some really good saves too. I mean, we don't give up 31 shots very often. Last night I thought it was a pretty offensive-minded team. A lot of back and forth, a little bit of run and gun even, and then Dershawn Ensigns out.
And, good to get a freshman some game action when you can, Coach. Looking at your roster, pretty good size for a goaltender as well, 6 foot, 195 pounds. So possibly good things coming down the road from him, if not sooner.
Yeah, you know what? Like, goaltending is a position where there's a results-oriented business, and me as a coach, that's where we are. I have said to these guys a lot of times, I want you all to do well. I believe in all of you, but I don't care who's the starting goalie. I really don't, because this is a team, and all three of those guys are capable. And whoever's playing the best at any given time can be the guy. And if Dershawn, rolls this opportunity into another one, he certainly earned himself another crack at it here at some point in the next week or two. He deserves that. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Cam's been fine as our starter this year, but he hasn't been great, and he knows that. And I think a little bit of pressure applied from Dershawn or Nick is a good thing.
Adrian College men's hockey coach Adam Krug joining us inside the cave. So you had Kuykendall score last night. You had May score and Ballant score the game winner, what would be the game winner in that third period. Looking at Kuykendall, he's quietly becoming more of an offensive threat, more than third or fourth line grinder type guy. I know you say you just rotate the lines and you have 4 top lines, but Trevor's producing.
Yeah, well, what's funny about Trevor is that he came out on fire this season, and kind of to not stick it to me, but maybe show me, hey, you've been playing me, deeper down the lineup. I feel that I deserve some power play time and bigger minutes. And then just as the first half of the season evolved, we needed a left winger, and Trevor's been playing center for a lot of this year. But we needed a left winger to go up on our first line with Sam Ruffin and Andrew Ballant. But once we moved him there, Trevor wasn't the same. I think he put a lot of pressure on himself to be a go-to guy, and kind of also maybe got a little comfortable saying, okay, like, here I am now, I've arrived. And then he didn't have a point ever since we moved lines. I think it was like 4 or 5 games in a row where he played with those guys, and then he didn't produce on the score sheet at least. Did some good stuff still, but didn't get on the score sheet. And, over the weekend, bumped him back, and he needed to go back to the middle and play center and provide a little bit of depth there. And you could say he got relegated to the third or fourth line and put him with a couple of guys that he's been familiar with Nick Lund and Grant Basin last night. And their line was awesome. I mean, Grant Basin probably played the best game of the season for him and one of his better games of his career. And Nick Lund is starting to get some confidence. And I think Nick led our team in shots last night with 7. And, it was good to see Trevor get back on the score sheet and that line produced. It truly was fun to watch.
Yep, certainly things clicking after the loss to the U18 program. You can't really disguise numbers. They sort of speak for themselves. The Bulldog program, you're undefeated against Concordia, Wisconsin. 44-0 all time, 22-0 at home. What's the mindset? I mean, the Falcons aren't a bad team, but you just have their number. How do you lace them up every night and say, we need our A game to beat these guys, when that's all you've done literally is beat this team?
Yeah, well, they used to be a really bad team and a bad program, and now they're not. They figured some things out over the years. They've had new coaching changes and another new coach this year, and I just think they've upgraded each time. They've grabbed a new coach, just a guy that cares a little bit more, that gets it a little bit more, and they're bringing the players that care and get it a little bit more. So, it's not the same team that we used to play, and when I played at Adrian, we used to beat that team double digits on a regular basis. So it's good to see them getting better, and really, like, our league, we feel is the best league in the country. We don't have as many blowouts as we used to. Now if you beat a team 5-6-1, like that's as big of a blowout as you're going to see. So the bottom has come up in the league, but we have Concordia's number, sure, we can say that. I don't think our guys are aware that we've never lost to them. I just think that's all-time history stuff, and recent history with our group shows that we've had some tight games with Concordia.
And we won't tell them that you haven't lost, Coach. So
Yeah, we'll keep that between us.
hopefully, we hope they're listening, but not to that part.
Yeah. Well, come on. It was on the recap of the game. Yeah, I had to address it just a little bit.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
It's always one of those things that, as a coach, you're like, we don't need to talk about that, but I understand the relevance.
Adrian College men's hockey coach Adam Krug joining us. Coach, looking ahead, it's a quick turnaround, but you stay home. You're playing the U.S. National Team Development Program under 18 again Thursday, tomorrow at the Arrington Ice Arena. Still limited fans situation. I think I saw a tweet with 100 fans capacity. Is that true?
Yes, that's what we had last day. I think the announced attendance was 99. So we couldn't get one more to have a sellout, but. 100 fans are allowed. We are providing ticket requests to our players first to take care of their families and their close friends, girlfriends, and whatnot. And then after that, we're releasing them to our season ticket holders and then booster members. So, those 100 go quick. And, if people that aren't season ticket holders or booster members really want to go that bad, they can certainly call the Adrian College hockey ticket office.
All right, and real quick before we let you go, lost to this team, pretty lopsided last weekend. How do you rebound?
Well, we just got to play our game. We were not good. To a man, we were awful, and the guys know that. And I think they take ownership in that, and the coaching staff takes ownership in what happens as well. So we'll jump back. We'll rebound. We also play these guys in October and beat them. So, that's in the back of our mind that we can play with them and we can beat them. And I also know that USA team has gotten tremendously better throughout the year. They're stronger. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, the night after they beat us, they beat number 7 ranked in Division I Bowling Green 5-1. So it's not like we went out and just couldn't hang with them. It was just one of those nights where we didn't play well, and they're a good team. So we've got to answer the bell, and I have full confidence that we'll see a different type of game tomorrow.
Adrian College men's hockey coach Adam Krug, thanks so much for your time, and we look forward to this becoming a regular thing Wednesdays.
Absolutely. Excited for that. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And with that, we need to take a break so we can get on the phone line with the other side. Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly just around the corner. Next, Inside the Cave with John Roberts and yours truly, Ian Went.
Oh, that was good.
Long Motor Sales in Tecumseh reminds you that our local
96.5 The Cave. Sports for Lenawee County.
And we welcome you back inside the cave, the 13th of January, 2021. Ian Wentz, John Roberts with you today till 9. The best for last, as they say in the biz. Adrian College women's hockey coach Sean Skelly joining us on the phone. Morning, Coach.
Good morning, fellas. Great to be back on the air with you guys.
It sure is, and we look forward to the Wednesdays being a thing throughout the season. So the last games you guys played were the two Division I programs, Mercyhurst and Robert Morris. You got a little break here, 10 plus days, and you face Concordia, Wisconsin coming up this weekend with a home and home. So you're kind of just ramping things back up again after another extended break.
Yeah, I think regardless, we're excited to have some more games on the schedule and have an opportunity to play this weekend. Excited for Concordia to come into town, and then quick turnaround. We're actually leaving probably an hour and a half after the game, and just getting to the hotel Friday night or Saturday morning, you could say, probably about 1 in the morning, and just getting a good night's rest instead of waking up early on Saturday and cruising 6 hours across the Midwest to Wisconsin. So it'll be interesting. That'll be our first ever kind of home and home travel with another team besides Trine, and that's kind of going to be the going rate for the rest of the semester with our conference schedule. So it'll be a good experience for us in how to get over the first game and be ready for the quick turnaround for the second.
Coach, I'm gonna give Duffy a call today and see if we can't get you a plane flight.
Let's go.
Let's travel in style.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the little charter plane.
I think he'll laugh just like I'm laughing about it too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he'll be like, you're nuts.
Wouldn't be the first time he's told me that.
Always worth a shot.
Yeah,
All they can do is say
the
no.
worst he can do is say no, right?
Exactly.
So,
All right, let's be serious.
No, I'm trying to think of names that the plane would be.
Bulldog 1.
Bulldog 1. There you go.
There you go.
Air Dog 1.
Air Dog 1.
Yeah. Dogs with a W. So, gosh, John, you threw me off.
All right. Serious face, Ian.
All right. Serious now. We're serious. What are you looking for your girls to do against Concordia besides win? I mean, it's non-conference, so you got to fine-tune some things. Are you looking at, like, the power play, or maybe you got Denisa back and you want her to play a couple games here?
Yeah, I think both of those points are pretty good. I think over the course of the two Division I games, and now we've done a lot of coaching. We've done a lot of video with different players, just going over little details that, I think our defensive zone needs to really be a lot better than it was against those two teams, and we're looking to do that this weekend. Special teams is a big emphasis for us. We're changing around some of our units, so we're going to see how that goes this weekend. And then we were able to get Denisa back, so I'm thinking we're going to probably get her one of the two games this weekend. I think we're going to go with Sophie on Friday night or Friday afternoon in Adrian, but give her an opportunity to get in between the pipes probably Saturday afternoon on the road.
A player that Bulldog fans are starting to know quite a bit more is Kaylee Catterett, sophomore for you. 3 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. Is that a surprise or something you sort of saw coming for her?
Yeah, Is it a surprise? Maybe. It's somebody that works hard every day, kind of flies under the radar, was, in and out of the lineup a little bit in her first year, and, has found herself a little niche in the middle of our lineup, up the middle, and she's had some success against Trine, and she scored one of our 2 goals against Mercyhurst, so it's pretty wild. Like, the girls love seeing her put the puck in the back of the net. She's not a flashy person by any means. Is relatively quiet consistently. So they get really excited, and she's having quite a start to her sophomore year. And I hope it continues, because that's going to be somebody that again, like I said, maybe fly under the radar a little bit, but if we can get that secondary scoring, it could make our team pretty good going down the stretch here into February.
The attendance policy, Coach, for your game Friday, is it similar to Coach Krug when it's in terms of Bulldog fans, 100 is the cap?
Yep, we got 100 fans, so hopefully we can get that 100. I know some of our families are pretty pumped that they're going to be able to finally watch their daughters play in person. Any tickets that aren't for some of the family and friends, there should be, I think, plenty left over for anybody walking in. Again, you just get temperature checked at the door. Wear a mask during the duration of of the game, and let's enjoy a sporting event that you're able to watch.
As they say, it's going to be hockey night in Adrian. The girls puck drop at 4 o'clock Friday night. Their coach Sean Skelly joining us inside the cave. Good luck, Coach, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the week.
All right. Have a good one, Coach.
Let's see ya.
All right, that's it for Inside the Cave. We're all out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. John will be back next week. Keep it right here.
I'm on Friday.
Oh, you're on Friday.
I'm subbing for John on Friday.
All right. Man,
Yes.
pulling some overtime, huh?
Yeah.
All right. See you next time, Inside the Cave.
And so many policies. What needs to be covered, what doesn't? How do I know?